Simje Namjiki Sanjo Gopang Tovala, Janju Parchin Dugan Yamen, Janju Simji Simbio Tone, and Parchin Dugan Yamen Chihores, and that Janju Simji Simbio Gune, Yamen Jabala, Janju Simgula Kihore, Janju Simgula Jabala, and Janju Sim and Jike, no Lamezene, on Janju Sim Sunji, and Tomba Shu, Diniam Sulengo Reje, that the nigger Janju Sim Gulaki. Songjian, Gulaki, Yaman Japar, Yelia, and the Hanzukim. And the Chevopua, Chasawa, Divashapala Soba Chichen, Luchine, and Jike Chevores, and Jejusim de Sungu Regere. The name that I'm kissing Chevopua, Chevopuiki, and Duchine, Shivare, the Chevopuko, Jezanda, the Niki Chevopu Delea, Jike, Sosuki, Sosolo Yebiki, that Jike Jala. The Jimbochi Carrier, the main bigger, Dabo Masungi, Susuk, the Nigi and the Medoda, and Jigge Jimbochi, the Negi Chuda, Da Marada Yuji, Puson Sobadigia, Lucine, the Puyares, Pugores, once kissing the Nigi Chupuya or Mashuva.
Good evening. So, in order to be able to successfully lead all sentient beings to attain their own enlightenment, one needs to practice the 6 perfections. For whichever practice one engages in to be one of the perfections, that practice needs to be conjoined with bodhicitta. So therefore, prior to engaging in the practice of the perfections, one has to generate bodhicitta, uncontrived bodhicitta, and then take on or accept the vows of the bodhisattva. Prior to the generation of bodhicitta, one needs to, having cultivated a deep and sincere yearning to become a bodhisattva, one needs to prepare your mind in which bodhicitta will be developed, which is done through the accumulation of merit and the purification of non-virtue. So we now in the second chapter of our text have been looking at making offerings, accumulating merit through making offerings. And what has been presented is one can make offerings both of what one owns, what one's own possessions, as well as what is unowned. And we've looked at many verses on offering things of great beauty, but that are unowned. And tonight we'll come to the next outline, which is making offerings, but making offerings of one's body. The 8th verse, to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I offer myself completely, and throughout all my lives I respectfully devote myself to your service. Please, Supreme Courageous Ones, accept me fully.
And the Anejiki Lamden, Dusolia, Gonjo Sumlia, touching to Mama in Big, Jamio Gonjo Sumbodelia, Dusin Puvare, Puish. A dealing on the Pue de Lupoas or the naked Lupo de Corsier, Juerwa.
When we're in the preceding verses, we're looking at making offerings of both what one owns as well as what is unowned. Those to whom the offerings were made were the 3 jewels, the Buddhas, the Arya Bodhisattvas, and the true cessations and true paths on their continuums. So those who were and are the objects to whom one makes the offerings. But here, now what is being offered, this has changed. This now is the offering of one's body.
Just not Lupua said that Lu Chibumba Lunga Yusumba Charugua, the Lupua said, didn't the Lunga Yusumba Pua Charlie Kongura.
And whilst it's explicitly stated one's offering one's body, what it implies is one's offering one's body, speech, and mind.
Now Lupua said, 소수기 류베게다 유베나네 자자쇼데 랑글류디르바다 기나 랑글류디베 마시다 자치무시우치 당한 저기 랑기 류디 아니 기디나 송급치고로 받아 그래서 내가 저기 두로기 토네 직캬그리에서 비게 두로기 직 고양교 송급지야다 네 나저의 면주의 송급지야다 달랑 아주 류디는 지 델리안 쪼버고도 주의치나 장모쇠야라서 받더니 진짜 당한 두시네 삼다나 나 저기 튕긴 뒤에데 망제 소수 류기도나 주디가로 차고래 제상 아주 류디 빼면서 짜침랑을 예비게 짜 치셔도 류디 지고로 당하지래 수인에도 도신 지고 제가 되네게다 다 소소리야 푸에 예비 소수게 왕 소수게 랑왕 예비 소소를 왕왕외게다 류 짜치셔도 야다 대바치면 뒤몸만 예비 gem네 건조 숨보들이야 푸기 인식으로 받아 되나
Amongst all that we own, probably our body is what we value the most, because so many of our activities are directed towards taking care of our body and ensuring that our body is comfortable and experiences pleasures. So, for example, if we feel a little bit of cold, immediately we'll protect our body by putting on warm clothing. Or if we're feeling a little off, a little ill, immediately we'll seek out medication to try and look after our body. And these are just some illustrations of so many of our activities which are focused on looking after our body. And so recognizing that our body is something that we value greatly, this too, amongst all the things we own, we offer to the three Mahayana jewels.
그거에는 수불이 폐치도 공고로와 한국어에 두로래 되네 아직은 저기 수부 주의해야 되긴 수불이야 안에 작화자 쪽화선 내 나서 용거리 대해서 되네 장마수에 장마주는 주고로와 안에 수부 약보야 될 양은 저기 직 numero 주야다 되네 지게 겐로 따야다 수분이 주어야 될 겐다야 지게 지 주야라서 받아 되네 게 차사다 누시는 거 저기 다시 가서 빼 수부들이야 제바 제제 슈제제 아주 누시는 거 저기 송급지고로 받아 저기 송급제야다 안 될래야 안 제보 인지고서야다 되네 게 지고로 받아 좀
And in this context of offering one's body, it needs to be very clear to us that this is something we value. So perhaps we aren't so aware of just how we do value our body. So when we look at our diet, we ensure that it at least has some semblance of being nutritious, because we want to care for our body. Likewise, when it's cold, we put on warm clothing. We make sure our sensitive feet are protected by comfortable shoes. And we keep our body clean so that it's as free of harmful bacteria as possible. And then this body we ornament in so many ways, whether it's beyond just clothing, but jewelry and colors and these various ways we make our body look attractive. And this is all something that we only treat something that we value in this way.
데니게다 랑려야 유비게 자치무 수부티 당한저 제네 송급 제국을 가서 류된 될 양아저 디기주고와 데네자 당한 저기 당한저 류디가 제 중앙에서는 딱 겨워 코와 통화매 받는 데리버도 류디 살시우 질린사다 장가스가요 장가 태요 말어 겨워 통매 매반에 때 류망 올렌서와 제가 다 장가로 겨워나 가제 nem바레라는 장가 투여 허메 되게 류망 오시 류 렘바르와 이나양 디 류디야 컨트롤이야 안지 그 푸이체 겨워사야 지라 중요를 봤으네 중요 말어와 그러다 소수 류디 되네 소수라는 게 숨겨체 두두 지는 그 조르고 제가 되네자 제가도 삼다되다야 당은 지금 가소래 건조 대바집에 두몸에 잼내 건조 산지 건조다 산지다 장시심바 파별 강사티에 차사 곧 잠니죠 공반에 람 냠렘 제베 람 귤라 장시심 귤라 마게반에 손에 잠니죠 공반에 셈제 탐 지게 된다 삼다제 안 잠바다 니죠 공 자주 셈 Then you like a passion to win Yamaji, then it's just a Pabe Gaza, Chayana, then there's San Yokoban Toba, then San Yokoban Toba in Tobnaya, Janjusim Papa Gaza Chabina, Shendin Baji Yanya, some Digaji. Distant Seven Quarters, just a Denigil, Shendin Bashi, Jedugan, Denigit, Yakivu Tisolia, Deba Denigi, Akuzundwa, Sabigita, Denigi, Yandel, Jamba, Debache, Debachu, Chibetuna, didn't need Ludi, Dang Rangit, Za Cheshu, Jebasoneke, Jebaji, Ludi, and he called Thomas Mevan, the Deba, the Lumon, Lembarete, in a conjola preaching, and the Kawa Yachimosato, Mino, just a didn't. Mahobana Puig Gobrada Maraya, then they are didn't the Gob Udicabla, me Ludia, and the Jiggy Tawachimbugi, and Pabe Gansalia, and the Jiggy Semdinia, and Jig Pugin Sempigeda, they are Pugin Sempedusin, some Gunota de Tabachimbi, Pabe Gazadi, Yukusun, Tusu, Yende, Debaje, and the good ships in the Rangu Ludi. 다대바동이 류망보 렘바레제 지쳐상 비주치시 제라샤 메데 개오기 초라 담마두바제 안두치는 소 메바 차샤스 지나다 마옴바나이네 데니기 푸예기 고급라다 마라 덴데 요마르스 다 디린 고급라디 땡이심 닝타관에 봐 안지기 세나세디 윤에 메바제 안 심딩네야 푸기인 셈베게 두치나 삼단데 푸고레시고다 푸고고레시
We're making this offering of our body in the context of reflecting on the incredible qualities of the Mahayana Three Jewels, which would incorporate the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. So looking at these remarkable qualities that these beings have, in particular, how they can benefit so many others. This aspiration that we already have to generate bodhicitta ourselves and work alongside the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in guiding beings towards the attainment of their own enlightenment, this grows very strongly within us. The wish to generate actual great love and actual great compassion and develop that further into the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility and bodhicitta, and thereby as a bodhisattva strive to become enlightened. This aspiration grows even deeper within us. With such an aspiration, then, we reflect how this is not our first samsaric rebirth. We have taken uncontrolled rebirth, life after life after life, and in each rebirth we have had a body, and that body we valued and protected and cared for, and no matter what circumstance we've had in that particular rebirth and how well we have protected our body, it nevertheless has wasted away and eventually rotted in the ground. And this has been the case life after life and will be the case in this life too. And despite having uncountable bodies throughout this unending stream of lifetimes, we yet are to generate bodhicitta. We yet are to really make a deep and lasting impact on the welfare of others. So recognizing this situation, we develop a deep and sincere determination that this life will not be like those that have gone thus far. This life, we will turn things around. This is the life. We will generate bodhicitta. We will work alongside the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in guiding others, helping others. And to bring this about, we offer our body, we offer our body, speech and mind, our full services to the Buddhas, to the Bodhisattvas, to the Mahayana Three Jewels. We offer to them in order to accumulate virtue so that we can generate bodhicitta in our continuum and work alongside them for the welfare of all beings.
Jadan, Geshe Namla, Puig, you Puy, the Tawachim, Tumama, Jabu, that San Jadan, San Jadan, Geshe, they say, Ledu, Jashisama Papa de Sola, Namla, and the Kusum Tusumi, Yunden Jene, Deva Zejidu, Jene, Dagi, and Dagi Ludi, Lukun, Dendo Ulorgi, Sededa, Dagi Ludia, Chick, Tuda, number Gun Pugins or that. Dawa Kashi Puyen, Dinma member, Yajama, Drada, Lo Kashi, the member, Duda, Gunia, Pasim Dingi Paluation, Sosugia, and Chiki Sena said, the God. Put them in Mebaje, and the Passem Dingy, singing Dingy Tonea, and do them Gun Dado, then the poor you get it. That Sanji you go from Matoba, the Sosuke, Ludica, said Nene Bardonia, Chige, Sanjeta, Jensen Papa de Sula Pugins, or that Dagi Luke, then the Ulwargis.
In the first line, we see the reference to whom we're making the offerings, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, as well as all their remarkable qualities, so therefore it would incorporate all three jewels. This is to whom we are addressing our offering. And we're offering ourselves throughout all our lives. So not just temporarily, not just whilst the mood takes us, perhaps in our meditation or for the next few weeks or months, but throughout all our lives, we offer ourselves to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And we do so without any restraint for miserliness, where there's no hesitation, there's no holding some back. We offer ourselves completely to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Rangni Simjan Tamjig Dundalia, Janju Sim Gula Gag Dundala, Yu Yejan, Sanjoko to be Chudu, and Denegi Pugi, Denegi Sam Daje, Diring Puyeg Yu, and Sanjeta, Di say Janju Sim Papa Dislu Puyada, Puyu Udile, Yu Kabarje, Ne Puyu go up the layang, and the Shen Simjan Tamjig Dunda, Sanjoko to be Chudu, and Janju Sim Yamlin Jag Dundalia, Puyo Goravadia. The Empire was a Puyu Udile, Kabar Papa, Puyu, the Chedo Javana, Simjan Tamjelia, Diringi, Ludi, Shengi Dundalia, do style Cobra, the Yaman, the Debado, Soso Rango Dunda, Luson Eugene, Shenlia, Tupujawa, the Shen, Social Jawa, Rango Lusonia, the Latin Chiora, that Diringi, Simjan Tamjig Dundalia, do Sulation, Dushina, Sangelia, Conjusum Pugi, Sebeda, Puyagi. Puyu Yudia, and the Chigi, Tabachimbi, Pabeka, Sanjeta, Janjus Papa, the daily choto you but you are my resident. That Puyu Dundala, Simjan Tamjig Dunda, and Sanjoko to be Puada, Simjan Tamjig Dundami, Puada, Chedo Java, Dile Tapach, Mevada. That Rangla Yube Zachisho Naneja, Rang Ludi Zachisho. That Rangli Luli Hapa Zachet, Rangli Mevare, that is that Danju Muga, so Luli Meva searched, Mud Pata, so Lud Sunga Georgia, Rangli Yube Zachishu Ludi, Dia Pugut, the Nego Gob Rangli Yube Zachishu Puya Gob Yoba, the Simjan Tamjig go, Dona Puya Yoba. The young pussy Udila, Tapachimbe, Sanjeta, Janjism, Papa de Puya Yoba, Pema the Yabu Junson, same big, same dini, Gawaki, and then the Senas, the Kayat, Meba, and to doubt the Nick Pugi, same some constitution, Pugu or the Edge.
The manner that this, in which this offering is made is one of incredible vastness and expanse. So one is reflecting how, in these uncountable lifetimes up to this point, I've lived really solely for my own benefit. Achieving my own happiness has been at the forefront of my motivation, life after life after life. Hence, I'm still bound in these suffering realms. This has to end. From now, I'm radically transforming this. Instead of working for the welfare of primarily myself, I'm now letting that go. And I'm working for all sentient beings, each and every single mother sentient being. So this is where we see an expression of the vastness, which is in terms of the purpose with which we are committing ourselves. Then in terms of the vastness, we are making this offering of our body. This body that we have protected so and valued so, cared for so, even all our hard-earned money we'll spend just to keep ourselves a little bit more comfortable, to sustain our lives. This body that we value so, we're offering. And we're offering without any restraint, any hesitation, and not only in select circumstances, but without any trace of miserliness, no holding back, we offer our body. So again, what is being offered is vast. And then certainly in terms of the duration, for lifetimes to come, until all beings have attained enlightenment, I offer my body. So therefore, both the purpose or the goal, as well as what is being offered, are incredibly vast. And then thirdly, so too, is to whom we are making the offering. And this is the limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all their remarkable qualities, in particular their true cessations and paths on the continuum of these Arya beings. So to a very vast object in terms of number and qualities, we make the offering. So therefore, an offering such as this is truly unsurpassable in terms of both the objective, what is being offered, and to whom the offering is being made.
다기 용시 용시시 세도 지난다 셈바 전주심배 파비에 가사다 근데 초도 유바 전주심배 냠는 탈신의 상기고 봐 상기 대선 남기단 경선 남기 안지 조화 심제랴 tuksewa chenpo semje tamje dungal jayada digi 주위에 이디나 샹알야 제와 제위 시고레스 제상 견주 제위 시고부터 제와 요바서 tuksewan게 다기 당합수는 semje 탐지기 된다랴 아니 나야 안 경화도 나지 요하게 된다다 니 수는 예침모 소야게 된다랴 디니기 tukse위 공내제 안디야 견주 시로지 사지 또 안에 전남 다기 용시 시익스도
The third verse in the Tibetan is our fourth. The third line in the Tibetan is our fourth line. Please, supreme courageous ones, accept me fully. So here, so the Tibetan word for a bodhisattva is literally mind hero. So the hero or courageous one. So the courageous ones will be the bodhisattvas. Supreme would also refer to both Arya bodhisattvas and Arya Buddhas. So therefore, when you say, please, courageous, supreme courageous ones, one is addressing those to whom one is offering one's body, the Buddhas and bodhisattvas. And by saying, accept me fully, one is saying, due to your loving care that you hold me in, with this motivation, with these eyes that you look at me with, accept what I'm offering to you. And by accepting it, accepting my offering, guide me to serve you perfectly, to serve you as fully as is possible.
군도 뒤다 남바 군도 부긴라와 디나진데 셰바다 용소 차산 시로 셰시고와다 지 내가 당한서 내가 정한서나 아가 나오지 이야기인데 제일 궁금해 거야요 말세 이 로직이 이야기인데 거야요 말세 되는 멤버체 아니 지가 산지고 마도 봐도 경도 시로 셰사지 용소 시로 셰 뒤다 남바 군도 안 교회 시로 셰사지 본 거로다.
So in this line we have a word translated as fully. And we have similar words in both of these verses translated elsewhere as completely. So this is an expression of the expansiveness of the motivation as well as what is being offered and to whom one is offering. So in this case, where we have the word accept me fully, one is giving of oneself in one's entirety, and not just for today, not just for how the mood takes us, not just for in the ways that we find easy, but we are offering ourselves completely, and we are requesting to be accepted in our entirety, to be accepted wholly or fully.
데니게 랑기 루프베게 푸이제데 제스절라 시왈라 치모 코론 주게 냐마 냠는지도 갑레 데네스 도시는 나요르바 디 멤비기다 자주센바 냠는지겐 차상이 다 두신에 두신 능고로와 제자다 나눠줄 랍제를 가는 것은 제자 경험줄에 심지어 탐지교도나 상계 고방 투비 지도 냠내 제발라 다 랑그 류자시 자시셔도 삼라디네 다시 푸고고리에 세징한줄 두신 푸고래 세징한줄야 랍제로 두신 거라 제자 디네자 나눠주네 저 푸비 갑리 나다 다 나눠주 차상 이게 소수기 류디 푸예기 푸유다 지게 상계다 전주선바 탐지기다 구송투 연전 대지 대바제지도 예 근데 진게는 경험적이 되는 냠는 제어도 빼 맞아 약보 디나신 얘기가 되는 냠는 제투바 용어 쇼섬제 디상의 디링 땅의 류자 전부디 쳇는 코와 도마마반에 니 류리야 안두스전의 상계다 전주선바 푸여고 중요 말에 디링가 되게 고합유디 등의 푸기 셈베 대양 셈제 탐적이 된다를 푸여야 돼 예마이 류디 자자 랑직부 된다로 송겹장장 제전 두신 철라다 말에 디링이다 고합대 셈제 탐적이 동아세야단 디기 조야 된다라야 니 류디 푸이셔 선남 야권조라 푸이셔 선남 사제 두신 냠는 지긴 셈베 삼다제 안데 두신 양도 푸이셔 안 지기야 푸비게다 소수기 두신 뭐바 제 푸여 예, 얘네 안에 야 견적에다 두시네 전시선바다 상계 파파 상계다 전시선바 파파디기 당의 부류디 안 뒤다 남바권도 견적이야 시러치 세지 안 두시네 가서 삼도 두스 당고를 해서 올라가는데
The way that we should approach these verses is to recognize that this is a teaching from Shantideva. It is on the one hand biographical in that this is how he lived his life. This is how he practiced, offering himself entirely to the service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And this is something not unique to Shantideva, but this is how all the Bodhisattvas practice. They offer themselves completely, wholly, and sincerely. And the sincerity of the commitment that is being expressed here is a commitment to achieving the welfare of others. And this is what we try to cultivate within ourselves, this sincere commitment that in order to attain enlightenment for others, I offer myself completely. What I value most, I give. And if I can give what I value most, I can give everything. And I do, because nothing else matters but achieving the welfare of all mother sentient beings. So therefore we reflect here, cultivating this determination that from today I commit myself completely and with the utmost sincerity. We're making this offering directly to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so in a way that we are as if we were actually physically engaging with them, making this promise of commitment and requesting their acceptance of our offering, and thereby committing to work alongside them in fulfilling their aims. So this is how we should approach these verses.
dine guibi kiegi bansu chiwar ki sidi ta puiwi lu puina ane karchene puigore sidi janju sangye da janju si papagi bansu chiye bansu gyuyagi char puigos bansu bangsen dangansu dirwa da benengansu ki gyabjuwa mabodo Australia ligorwa karchi ligorwa Australia mise chayi dondalwa da mise chayi dondal ligorwa di naji da bansu chan shesa mazhona di kunzugi da 방스도 디기 딱 코르 미세나신 그래서인데 지게 코롱 코르이나 안 코르를 야구야 된 비지다에 차상 비지다 두고로 와 코롱 코르 많이 เป็น오스트레일리아 미 지게 미세이나 다 오스트레일리아 중기엔 코르를 지 가르치는 야구야 된 제고라서 제조라 디면나 현대 미세를 제투했어요 말어 어디 나신다 제 전주 상계다 전주서 뭐 파바디 방수죠 코르야 차에도 날 부여해서다 귀비 계기 방수 치워르기 쓰는 부여디 부귀비 금천에 가려는 이 경험주의 방수 치야게 방주 차야게 다 코르도 규약이 싫어 인서다 귀비 계기 방수 치워르기가 이 경험도 부여제 내 경험도 방수 중어지 이 경험도 코르도 규어지 경험도 다 나중에 다 욕볼 마선에 이 욕보 인사be 두스네 제 뒤던다 인서다
The fourth line in the 8th verse is for us in English the third line. I respectfully devote myself to your service. So in many other translations you have there the word as a slave or as a servant is used. So the meaning here is that just like refugees or immigrants who come to Australia, they come here wanting to be accepted within the community so that they can contribute to the community and live here amongst the community. So this is similar to the intent of behind this offering, where we are offering ourselves to become within the circle of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so within their retinue, within their close circle. And we make this offering to respectfully devote ourselves to your service. So wanting to be part of their circle so that wherever help is needed, we can be the one to help. So that wherever the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas act to help sentient beings, that we make the commitment, let me aid you in offering service to others. So this then is the meaning of the fourth line, our third line, I respectfully devote myself to your service.
안치긴 lumba shenda chinje kanga tebene then gehapdi and chik songkyupjeda and nganzu mil din chi dadoje songkyupjeda yungorwa mi shengi da gehap shenda na ojik kolya nerigi odi yanko misi digi gehapdi misi ja di gehapdi nganzulia kanga digi sa nyora shigesme da songkyup yungorwa jeza songkyup yungorwa je misi chaade gyumden 소수기 대대리 갑라 튕게 약보라야다 되니게 강아래 세야 근데 내가 유현도 줘베네 미생기 안지 왕여시에도 투제다야야 예합게 송교 연구로 되네 사디 미세 차베네 개변되는 연구로 받아 어디나지레다 장주sem바랑 류디 푸이데 장주sem바 파바다 산지리에 푸이샤바이나 콘주기 다우 소바이나 다디로 미세제 데레네 슝게 미세마데바나 고 강아제 요로와다 디나시 다도 마송바나 디로와다 산이 용수 시에바이네 데네 송급디다 가리나 소수 용고로 와서 디 방수 치와기 세데 송 디전다 인제데 제산 디기 방 차야기 돈달 푸기에서 보다
So especially if you think of the analogy of refugees who come to Australia, they come here fleeing persecution and hardship in their former country. And they come here turning to the Australian government for protection and care, and with a determination to become an Australian citizen, because then they will be fully protected from their government, from their former governments. And the government here in this country will protect them from such danger, and also whilst being here, contributing to the community and the good of society, their own situations will improve. So similarly, when one turns oneself to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, wanting to be part of their close circle, one knows that through doing so, one will attain the teachings and guidance required to develop one's good qualities. And not only will one protect oneself from the sufferings of samsara, but one will be able to guide others and protect others too.
That is on Kissing on the Kasan Yama Jugoda, Jik Medoda, Jik Jimor, Jimbochnata, Maradus, Puyada, Dijan Lu Puyada, Duce, that is what Sungorosna, Chebo Puyagi, Chebo Puyasmor, Jizada, Denigi, Rangi, Yuhipike, Jalada, Rangla, Sa, Chesho, Denigi Ludia, Puyadu, Gaje, Jimbi Yame, Jimbatonagi. Sena Hayam, Sena Buddha, deep weird, Sena Chasan, Sena in Yembo. Chesan Susunganzulia, Sena Chiorwada, Chigis, Chesan de Cachasan, do Puyin, Sembe, Assemblia, Luciness. Then only one age, some not died, what and some not lose in Puyish, some died, Sosugi, jigging it out, that depression, that the Jigmaras, Naranga Chase, and somebody, or the Sena Pajungo, what. That passion to be Yamlin, Jimbi Yamlin or Sungor Delia, most of Jimbi Yamlin, Masonbe, and another Chopia to say 파 푸유세 동회 셈바 control이야 푸유를 동화 류 자치 류는 제바 동화리야 푸유를 소소기 동회 셈바의 자야 송고를 받대 제사등 안주기 산교고 바토발랑 안주기 조 삼류톤에 삼류교와 안지네 제상 안주 동회 셈바의 세나등 안주 매바 소고를 안주리 세나요래 제단 디 매바 소고 동회 셈바 파도시는 지 푸유기 부장도 세나디 매바 밤에봐서 할 제거로 저는 디네자 뭐 디니기 최고 부위기 송고할 때 이내 돈달라 동외 셈바냠네 진비냠네 뒤에 송고래 파진주기 냠네 나네 당보 진비냠네 거대 다 된기 송고래.
This is the eighth verse thus far in this chapter. And here thus far we've looked at many ways to make offerings, so that many of the preceding verses, perhaps 5 or so, were about making offerings of things that are unowned, thinking of beautiful natural environments such as isolated places and mountains, lakes and ponds and flowers and so forth. So these were all offered, and now here we come to offer something that is owned. And amongst all that we own, we're offering immediately what we value the most, our own body. So the purpose of making both unowned as well as owned offerings, or offerings of what is both unowned and owned, is to strengthen our generous spirit, our wish to give, and act as an antidote to the self-centered attitude of miserliness. So through going through meditations as presented in these verses again and again, giving in these ways, even with giving what is unowned and giving our own body, through giving in these ways on a mental level, again and again, we strengthen our habituation to the way of thinking, which is that of giving or generosity. And as this attitude within us grows and develops, the contrary mind of miserliness weakens. We find ourselves, as we reflect or meditate in this way again and again, we find ourselves being naturally inclined to giving of ourselves to others. So meditation is the process of developing habituation or familiarization to certain wholesome ways of thinking, and weakening our habituation or familiarization to unwholesome ways of thinking. So by thinking ever more about giving of ourselves, whether it's giving our body or giving imagined, unowned, beautiful environments, by strengthening this habituation to giving, we will be able to do so with greater ease and deeper sincerity and generosity. Amongst the 6 perfections, generosity is enumerated as the very first. Hence, right here, at the beginning or near the beginning of the text, we are training in the practice of giving of ourselves.
And the Bangsu Sunda, and the Bangsu Chana, and the Koro Chana, didn't get you this. Says you what? Just about Sanjay and just Papa Kiran, Lu Puedi, Korgi, Kor Bangsu Chay, Chia Dondala, and the Kor Chai, don't like Puyurella. Kor Chana got Jiggy, that didn't mass the Kor Chana, the Jiggy said. Dani, Kiyu, Yonsu, Sunwe na, Sijin, Mijik, Semjin, Pemba Yis. The
8th verse concludes with the line, I respectfully devote myself to your service. So building on this devoting oneself to service, we're coming to the 9th verse, and the first 2 lines, being completely under your care, and thus not fearing samsara, I will work to benefit sentient beings.
Da Kyugi Bangsu Chebena, Dani Kyugi Yonsu Sunwena, said that me Lupu Kyugi Bangsu, Sanje, and Papa Bangsu Chayadu, called the Chayadu, and it Miji Bigi Gap, and it Gapki Suho to Subaris Gap, Kyugi Bangsu, Yonsu Sunwena, Kyugi Gapsu Sunwa in Za, Della Dene, and Koalia, Sina, Mijik said Koalia, Jigba. Yong Mares, call him Jiba Mebaza, call Jiba than Jay Tone, Semjengi, Pembaji, Semjelia, Pembajugi, or that she's a Pembajugis. She's a Dirwada, she's a Gemni Tabachimbe, Pabe Kansagi, Suyong Su Sunde Japtella Dene, Ma Koal Jibatan Jai, Koal Shanamiabachi, Shan Simjele Pembertugins, the Jeza, the Pansu Sungwe, Yumzero, the Nick Pembertuyak Dona is or the Pembertugins.
Reading these 3 lines together again. I respectfully devote myself to your service, and now being completely under your care and thus not fearing samsara, I will work to benefit sentient beings. So having offered ourselves and being accepted fully, we are now within the retinue, within the entourage of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We are within their close circle, their inner circle. And there, and now within their being within their inner circle, we commit to fulfilling their aspirations. In other words, working for the welfare of others. So we recognize that now that we are completely, entirely in the service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, in turn we are under their care fully and completely, and therefore we have no need to fear samsara. We can. Being free of fearing the sufferings of samsara, we can dedicate ourselves to working for the welfare of others, confident that being within the close inner circle of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, whatever hardships we encounter, we can skillfully deal with them without fear.
Yogoro Chavina, Sanje de Janjusenbigi, Maguye de la Lagatelia, Chixosuke Ganga Dunga Seyadan, Digutuya, Shenji Dunga Seyadan, Digutuya, Gave Java Janja Duya Guramato, and Jigi Shen Ganga Teadan, Soso Ganga Teadan, and Divasayag Lagumarwa. Chisa, Dineza, Sanje dan Janjusenbe Bansu Suma, the Desugi, Chige. Pemba Shenley, Pemba Tuyagi, Tabada Tamje Kimbe, Shenyi Dungasia, the Shenyi Dungasia, the Shenley, Digi to be Pemba Bashi, Tinan, Dusin, Jehoresma, Ganayadi, Nikashin to Gins or that, Semjingi, Dinigi, Chorongi, Japsunwa, Japtelet, and Jibada Tani, Semji, and Pabikansa, Sanjeta, Jens, Papa Digi, Malakakane, now announcing Semji Duenduela. So got now a Tahara, Chimichi, and Gashin to Ching a Pember to Gins or that, Gashin to Gins or. Madame Sarah made a Pember Gis at Dona, Sina Michi, Simjin Pember Gis at Donati.
So having offered oneself to the service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, being like a servant to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, one knows one will be now working under their care and under their guidance, which means that one will be working alongside them. What is it that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do? They solely work for the welfare of others. They work to help others accumulate happiness, causes for happiness. They help others overcome suffering and eliminate the causes of suffering. That is what the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do, and therefore now in their service, so too will we. So therefore we can have confidence that we will not be creating the causes for our own suffering. Therefore, we have nothing to fear. We will in fact only be creating causes for happiness, for both ourselves as well as others. So therefore, we can have confidence that there is no need to fear samsara, as long as we are now under the care of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and working to fulfill their heart's aspirations, working in the service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We will not experience any hardships that are beyond our capacity. We will be able to deal with any challenges that come our way and continue to help others, continue to guide others alongside the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, guiding others in accumulating the causes for happiness and overcoming causes that would otherwise lead to suffering.
Shipsomada Rabara sometimes that Ludia Sanje that Jensile Pusu Ludi Pugore, that Sheroche Sungor, the Shevinet, and Anzola Carapanda, did so Ludin Sosakitina Digitadugre, and 다 스테디 제모로 현자의 지게 비주메 등은 삼의 현자 슈도 삼사라지 네 데메시바스가 말와당도 두시네 삼다벤다 디네 피고레 네 시고레 시고레 안데 제나 안는 안줄 지게 류디 그 상계 단시스만 안전 통고 말에 안는 때 바스 차기를 되네 삼다디 판도라지 메딩을 두어 선비게 삼는 코시기로와 용구로와 당한 제 한스나
When people come across verses expressing an intent like this, doubt may well arise, thinking, what is the point of something like this? You say, I will offer myself as your servant, or offer myself to be in your service, and what's going to happen? Are the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas going to take me off somewhere? No, of course not. You'll still just be sitting here. This is just like making up a movie. This is just like you role-playing. What is the point of this? This is not in accordance with reality. You're just deceiving yourself. So someone who hasn't thought about this well will really look at this and just have severe doubts about it, thinking it's quite pointless.
안디네 스무르데 이나다 10초불 삼단에 아주 가르스포스는데 최냠내시 제세딩 아주 삼로 규화다야기 삼로 장투르 제디디냐 냠는 지고로 세상 아주기 최지고르세 또 삼로 돈이 디기두고 그래 삼로 규화당 거래 삼로야 장투르 제고래세 디네 자당 아주도 삼다에도 류야 부야 되게 푸이 관쪽이 더 푸이 유의되듯이 셰바나진 대바체 안델리안 셈제 탐제기 도다인 삼다제 두치네 수수 푸이에서 멜로 셈딩니 푸여도 소수게 삼로 나려야 동회 셈바디 장장의 뭐 공부 주고로와 델려야 네 개월마서나 개월 빠도메 바사고로와 당 두치네 직세 다데네게 푸이 세외지랑서 삼마 갈당 고르스네 푸이 세외지 당은 저기 다니 규규 용소 소외나 시나미제 셈진 펜바기 세도 제자당 아주당 소수류디 당의 류디 건조리아 사이가서 파베기 강사 차바침비기 파베기 강사들이 푸차와인 지난 푸차와자 당의 류디 건조기 다도 송와레스 건조기 방수 중와데 중들 마랑랑 다 푸차레스 지난 푸차와자 당의 베제 등의 류디 셴려 뇌바단 세외 자와질 베지다나 다 디그 말와스 that this samdang go rang asulya ni deep dana ni dig mares dan ne ku mi sangye dan janju semba ge janju semba phawal phiji jo khonzo gi chaladi ta khonzo chaladi ni an jalya ne ba cha da chewe samba chawa da jalya ne bi ge jawa ji le be shi dana ta sangye da an janju semba ge ля ni an ji ge ka so re 제 노르치고를 다 자윈 디고 디바 첨부 사이를 딘 배사이 딘지 진 디고 말은가 푸사래 콘조 푸사에 등 에디스네 셴리아 차와 제바다 랑직부도 달아야 베제단 지금 말에 선비 삼로디 레오디 안디 삼로신고 삼다도 당고르바다 데네 삼다도 당에디 그 리디 가르페즈나 다 상계단 전신선바세데 셴기 중화세다 셴된 바시 주에게 얘는 주에게도 나 차례도 쓰는 거래. 지상 등에 류디다 관주기 베지다에데 현례 편바당 현례 디기 주에게 돈달라 베시당 고거래. 지상 디네 상에 현례야 안지기 류마 있음 요건에 현례 편바 강도도 제와나 현이 동화세야디 강도도 제와야디 당에 내가데 디리 사베게 삼로 두치네 당에도 갑람 디네 당에도 디네 랑기 현례야 체위 삼로도 두 디바제야디 뇨르야다 수수의 개비 초디 뭐 공부도 줘야지 삼르디 땅말에 되네 리고로 와다가 삼르디 개체 주고 제가 되네 자디 냠는 이름도 제 삼다도 다 되네 풀리 되네 삼다도 수수의 개비 자와 냠는 배 마시기 뭐 공내 공도 패다 안지 개와바도 메바사도 용투고로 와 제가 아주 최지비 세데 삼르 땅에게 삼르 공부다 디르와 디던달 되네 자디 스투스 땅고 레제랑서
But for a knowledgeable and experienced practitioners of the Buddha Dharma, such as yourselves, you'll understand the deeper meaning that is meant here, because you understand the context that this is presented in, and you have an understanding of what is the meaning of Buddhist practice. You will know that the Buddhist practice means training your mind, transforming your mind. So here the commitment that one is making is in accordance with reality, not in accordance with how people understand reality who do not understand the context. One isn't physically taken off somewhere as a servant, but rather one gives of oneself to be of service. In other words, one is making a commitment that by giving our bodies, which we understand also includes speech and mind, we are giving ourselves to live in accordance with the teachings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and to live in accordance with their example, in other words, to follow their example, and thereby ensure that we bring no harm to others, but we only bring benefit to others. So by making offerings like this, again, we're not physically taken away anywhere, but it's our self-centered attitude that we let go of. And rather, we give of ourselves in the sense of we now transform our attitude and thereby how we live our lives. Because having given ourselves here with sincerity, then it would be inappropriate to act or speak in a way that brings harm to others. Because if we have offered ourselves in service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, acting or speaking in a way that brings harm to others is not offering service. So rather, we now here are making the commitment that at all times we will act in accordance with the wishes of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, which means we abandon our self-centered attitude that ensures that we, like we have to thus far, we work just for ourselves. We now see our body as being like an object that we can use to ease the suffering of others, as an instrument of service, that at the very least will not bring harm to others, but will actually rather bring them benefit. So by thinking like this has a deep impact on how we live our life. When this offering is made with sincerity, it will transform our mental attitude and thereby how we live our life. And this then leads to the accumulation of immense virtue, because it ensures that we live our lives in accordance with the Dharma, in accordance with the wishes of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And that is the purpose of thinking in the way as presented here in these verses.
Tabachimi Pabe Gansalia, Pusawa inza, me lui Beje Yakutan, Matabaina, and Kungi Gatan, Sangeta Jensen Papeti, Gatan, Gagri Consolia, and he Kesuchi or Yahoo Maria, some to do the Zemedu, that Shenlia Tsevi, somebody part Zem to do, then is Zembachi, Sungo or Waden, Sutumiam and Legorwa. That in 80. That Koran to get done that Carson, Shanley, Pember to the Chesa Pendo to that Bishop Gorges and Lady, that we Bishop at the Shanlia to dig to Yadan, Shishani Ganga say Shanley, Pember Jawachi, this way Pember to Yodu, that DJ by another, the Sanyada, Jensenberg go on to go or sing a cash into the Semjing, Pubadi, and the gas was a bounce shade to another Carson. Pembetu because a cashin to be a $1 bounce chicken that Chesang, those Chevena cashin to water, some Lucian Chede, some Dajid, the Rang Luki, Lunga to the Shanlia, Gaz Chevena, Shanlia, Menubat, and Shanlia, Pembe Jawachina, Shangi, Dumasia, Jawachile, Bishop down to do. The one Shanley Pendigore, just not Shanley Pingore, just Shanley Pembigi, and Shangi Digi to Yata, Gangasea, Digi Sunam Rana, Jig Nehab, and Digi Hoyada, and Di Tardo, and the Jig Tar San Yuko to be Guchagore, and the Persian to get Yamlin, Ya, Tarchimbalia Pingor, what in is that, the Yamlin, the Yawangor, what in is that. Duchin Sosoke, Lu Pu and Samlo Dengis Dangore, the net I do, and the Lang Lunga Jabadi, Shanlia Tsevi Javala, Nube Javala Matawaje, Shanlia Pembe Javala, down to Yadi, Yungorwa, Tisa Deneza, Samlo Dustangore, Songorwada.
So if you imagine that if you have something that you value greatly and you offer it to someone else with sincerity, and they accept it and take it from you, that will accept it from you, but then they don't put it to good use. They maybe waste it or disrespect what you've given them. You know how that will make you feel. You'll be disappointed. You'll have regret for having made this offering to this person. So taking that understanding to our situation here, where we now give ourselves to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and we do so with sincerity, and requesting that they accept us fully. That now having been done, if we then don't use this body, which now we have given to them, if we don't use it in a way that is in accordance with their wishes, this will be disappointing. Because they now see us as part of their close family, working alongside them to ease the suffering of beings. So if we now act in a way that's contrary to that we can imagine causing them disappointment. So we take this as inspiration that now that we have given ourselves to the Buddhas, that we need to keep our ethics purely. We need to restrain our mind from coming under the influence of the afflictions, and thereby speaking or acting in a way that brings harm. So by making the offering of our bodies, our body, speech and mind, this serves as a stimulus to support keeping our ethics well. And not only does it support us keeping our ethics well, but it will encourage us to continue in the various virtuous deeds so as to bring benefit to others, certainly not to harm, but to bring benefit to others. We can imagine the joy that this causes the Buddhas, and it would bring about joy to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for two reasons. One, we are helping with the fulfillment of their goals by aiding suffering beings. And secondly, by this accumulation of virtue, this suffering sentient being ourselves, which is the object of their compassion, is creating causes that will lead to their attainment of enlightenment. So that's the second reason that will bring joy to the minds of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So in this way, by offering ourselves sincerely, giving ourselves as servants, committing ourselves to be of service to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we end up practicing just like the Bodhisattvas do.
Dene ban sonen sosugeda duchene samdaje lunga chikcheyo de gawa tuyo gawa patme sagorwa dene zada delma kaso ngonji dile yanda dawarki ndiba shenam lenji miki dos sungorda.
So thus here we see by offering ourselves with sincerity and now acting in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha, we will be accumulating vast stores of merit. This is undoubtable. Now the text continues, moving completely beyond past non-virtuous karmic traits, I will henceforth commit no new misdeeds.
Tabachime Pabe Kansai, Bansu Son Yin, Sebe Sange, and Jis Papani, Bansu Chi, Bansu, the Bansu Sun Sawa Yin, Sembege, then Konzo, Wanje Chasang Konzo Liore, Sembege, then A Ludi, Nishalia, Tawa, Jinubis, Jawachin, Bejitan, Jigmari, Sembe Sunyata, the Nige and Sosurigi, Jawati, Shenle, Pemba, and Chigi, Jenny Dungas and Digi Pembe, Jawachilla, Bejuk down to the Gawadualia, Dang Gulsimi, the Nigi, Bejuk down you do, and the Garchias in it, and the certain bottom of Sagio Baza, Mungi, Diglia Yada Tower, Yamagi, Diva Sashabi, Liang, Diva Sashabati, Diva Tipa, Nuba Chun Drone, Diva Dipa, Janguries, or Mungi Diglia Yada Tower, he said.
The third line, moving completely beyond past non-virtuous karmic traits. So this naturally happens in that when one, with sincerity, offers oneself as a servant to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and is accepted into their inner circle and now commits to living a life of service, acting in accordance with the wishes of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, it's clear one will just accumulate merit and vast stores of merit because one will be acting almost as a representative of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So this will lead to the accumulation of vast stores of merit. So as our mind, and this meaning of accumulating vast stores of merit is our wholesome ways of thinking will become stronger. They'll arise more readily, they will be more powerful, and thirdly, they'll remain longer. So what that means is our mind is becoming ever more habituated to wholesome ways of thinking, and our previous ways of thinking, our previous habituations to non-virtuous ways of thinking, they now become weaker because of the strength of our wholesome ways of thinking. So as we become ever more wholesome, virtuous people, our past habitual traits, which were non-virtuous, they start to weaken and fade away. And that then is the meaning of this third line, moving completely beyond past non-virtuous karmic traits.
다 디버 셴야 렌지 미기도 세데 지난 디버 셴야 렌지 미기도 세데 대시 류디 다 상계당의 디버다 셴이 철 네베 차와 집에서 철 땅바 있나 다 상계당 전주선비 가당 가루도 지산 전주선 바다 상계 전주선 파바다 상계기 가디 가서 셴리에 팬바다 지 개호 주벽에 셴리에 팬바다 동화세에게 자와 제리 삼 두세 차례나도 디바 사기 말해서 렌데 디바 사바 사기 말해서 디바 셴야 렌치 미기도 마음바나 디바 사기 말 디바 사바 사기 말해서 제가 디바 렌치 지 말해서 제가 니마 사비 선남 바도면서 니마 사비 디바드 파다 누버 춘쇼도 데니 디바 사바 사야 고컵라이고 말 사바 사기고 말 그래서 셴기 된다라 셴 페베 자와 양양도 두치 내가 제도 제가 렌치기 디바 셴 마음바나 디바 사기 말해서 제가 니마 사비 디바데 다 마음만 디바 마사나 니 개와냐냐 차별로 봐 세상 안주에 셈 주었다야지 데니게 데니는 상유고방 토열에 타니에 두고라 데니 인자다 원시 디바 데니게 삼다지 류푸 안지게 야 상계다 전주선 파베게 까나 까신 줍제 셴리에 폐배 자와냐냐 땅에 류데 상계 전주선 푸차와 인다 네 류데 셴리에 체외 잡아서다 데니 지 말에 삼베게 송야다 데니게 당이 류다 데니가데 까지 비슷한 셴리야 디기 주변에 셴리 강아세 셴리 폐배 자와 땅고에 삼지 데니게 삼노 땅한체 안 소수기 내가 가래지네 룽아 유스미 내가 가래지네 셴리 폐바냐냐로 삼다지 제도 강도 제도 데니마 디바 사바다 디바 사바 마사 지산 소수기서 개위 자와데 안 누구 권에 권도 패주고 그래서지 단단히 보데 디순 거다.
Having offered ourselves and seeing ourselves as an emissary for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we will become quickly habituated to wholesome ways of thinking, and thereby, as we saw in the third line, we will move thoroughly beyond past non-virtuous karmic traits. And as we become ever more habituated to wholesome, virtuous ways of thinking, not only are our past misdeeds purified, but we'll easily refrain from creating further non-virtue. And this is the fourth line. I will henceforth commit no new misdeeds. Because as our way of thinking becomes ever more wholesome, non-virtuous ways of thinking that even perhaps in the past we were quite habituated to, we'll become estranged from that way of thinking. That way of thinking will almost be alien to us. When we are presented with opportunities where one can act in non-virtuous ways, it will seem very strange for us to do so. How could we possibly act in such a way that would bring harm to others? So in this way, not only does habituating ourselves to wholesome ways of thinking through having given ourselves to the Buddhas as acting in their service, not only does these wholesome ways of thinking ensure that we move beyond past non-virtuous karmic traits, but henceforth we will also commit no new misdeeds.
즉 뒤시 슈베이나 다간실랭은 저기 상계다 전신심바 파바디기 안배 저기 신기 뒤엔 뒤다 남바군도 근데 현대 그냥 지고래 세배다 특제와 침보 안진디니게 현대 능고래 세배 현대 편바견여 두고래 세배기 다 제외 연대다 안지 켄제 뉴스 묘 연대디도 제hen제 대바세시도 삼다 대바치 대바께 다 대바께네 나 소소나 삼다다 대바께제 다 디링 류디 한개와 코 도마면 류마고 레여데 디차상다 송교제주 저랑게 자치 첨부 휴제제 현들야 디니 컨트롤야 푸투요 말에 현기 된다래 땅마도 저 라든 지부 양양 삼다지 디니지네 네지게 뉴버데 템바데 중요 말에 세상 디니게 고급 여바데 디링다 고급에 마세 야보라와디 나랑 그류 자침보까지 내다 세게 세나세데 가양 매바제 대양 안에 심지어 탐제 디기주비하다 동아세제 심지어 탐제 산조고보 특별 철도 전주심 냠랭제 된다래 양에디 이류들이 안 전주심비게 파베 가사다 산제려야 안심디니야 뒤에 남바군도 내 산조고보 마트바도 피기 셈비게 삼다제야 푸이제 안지게 안다제 산제다 전주심 파바디기 시로제스나 두셔스 푸이제는 건주게 제제 아니 랑 소소랑기다 상계다 전신 파백이 코도 교송 선배기 매바제다들 지루하다 방수 교송 선배 매바제 되네 삼다 다 방수 교사원자다 교사와자 다 딩이 다 상계 되네 푸이는 게 가르제르스네 상계다 전신 파 탐제기 류응하기 자와디 상계다 전신 파다 까나신지네 까지송 두기 세네 가 지송 두기 세베 까나신지 샬레 펜버 두기 세 제자 상계단 전신 선배기 가 두여게데 시행기 동아세야다 샬레 펜버 두여데 제자 상계단 지서 받음지 가 지송 주는 게 샬레 펜버 두기 세베 삼나 스타르와다 디네 삼나 스타야레 디네 삼다네다 다디 가 지송 두고자 네 류디 데 샬레야 네베 자와다 세외 자와를 베셔단 류가 있음디 데네레 베셔단 지기마레스 데네 베셔다나 상계다 전신심 파베 까다 가주고레 세상 네 가치선 두빈세데 차고마디 노르셔디니 싸우기는 지기메 선배 다 데네사다 랑기 류 있으면 관 셴리아 펜바다 셴기 동아세야라 펜버까지 두긴 선배 데네 삼다제 주에나 제바는 주바이나 다 상지가 주고래 전신 파베가 주고래 삼제 두체네 삼다싱어주다 난주 삼다네 류강이 있습니다. 다 지게디나 당이 류강이 있으면 상기를 푸사에는 대자시안에 펜버두고서 비게 두체네 삼다장 삼다디 다 두체 당유도 삼로디베 계유초라 짱야레용으로 봐. 레어도다 데네사다 원체 디바디게 따르야당 아니 치마라 디바 라마사바데 용그리에제 야나 델리안 녜마 디바 사샤바디게다 이네 심제 라나 셰 심제 탐지 디바 사샤바 탐지 다 디링게 닝게 루베데네 샤긴 셈베게 샤바체야 삼다야다 안 몽오바이네 샤리야 제게 동의티가소레 디바세데 개와 싸우기는 지금에 셈베 담자야 렌치 미기도 세데 자오기 메베스 담자시야다 누치는 삼땅고래 제 데네 삼다베나 당아 저기 기회 삼로도 야 뉴바차로 두고레스 제가 삼로당 두 스타베나 데네 디바 용고 말에 디바 사기 말에 저래 제가 다 개와냐 사기오래 제가 다 삼로데 양주 두시는 장고고래서 제 너네 님보디 송고로 받아
To summarize what we've looked at tonight, the first step of the meditation that's presented here is to call to mind the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and their remarkable qualities. You can recall, for example, the true cessations and true paths on their continuum. You can call to mind their incredible wisdom as well as their incomparable love and compassion, and how they are engaging in vast array of beneficial activities, always holding the welfare of suffering beings, including myself, first and foremost in their heart. So the first step of the meditation is to develop a deep faith or trust in the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then in the second step, we reflect how we've, since beginningless time, at lifetime after lifetime, body after body, where we have not yet even attained our own benefits. But not only have we not, throughout this long stream of lives, not achieved our own benefit, but we have brought harm to so many others. Now that we have this remarkable opportunity to turn around, to break this continuation, to end this stream of samsaric rebirths, I can do that, and I will do that. Here then, we can make the commitment that from this point forward, I will hold the welfare of others first and foremost. So that's then the second point. The third, so how will I do so? I give myself completely to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and I will do so throughout all my lives. This is a commitment I make from now until each and every mother sentient being has attained their own enlightenment. I give myself to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and I commit to respectfully devoting myself to their service, to being their servant, to working in their service. So this then is the offering that we make and the commitment that we make. Then the fourth step is how we practically do it, how we practically offer service to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And it comes down to just this. I will live my life in accordance with the teachings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Or to express that slightly differently, I'll ensure that my mind is at all times in harmony with the teachings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That is it. That is how we offer our service to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Because when we are living in accordance with their teachings, we will firstly never harm others with our physical behavior, our way of speaking, and ensuring that our mind is protected from the afflictions, even mentally, we'll wish no harm to others. And this way, we'll always be in accordance with their teachings. But moreover, the result of committing to keep ourselves in accordance with the teachings and thereby offering service is that with this basis of ethics, we will work for the welfare of others. Our speech will be wholesome and virtuous. Our physical interactions with others will be wholesome and virtuous because our mind is in accordance with the Dharma and is therefore wholesome and virtuous. So these are the 4 steps of the meditation. First, generating faith, then recognizing the stream of lifetimes and committing to turning things around right now. And how so? Thirdly, offering of ourselves as in service to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And how to really do this, the 4th step, is to committing to live in accordance with their teachings. So in this way, from right now, we elevate ourselves to being someone within the inner circle of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And we commit to live our life in accordance, in harmony with their wishes. And the benefit that will come from this is we'll accumulate vast stores of merit from right now. And through this vast stores of merit, not only will we be happier right now, but we'll easily be able to fulfill our commitments to refrain from non-virtue. And through these vast stores of merit, not only will we not create new non-virtue, but we will purify past misdeeds. So these are the benefits that will come through making this commitment now to acting in the service of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Geshe Thubten Rabten Kelenjeje Samadaji Tushin Diva Gavasayadi Jumadi Pemase Yabu Johnson Sembe Dangi Denigi Puya Rabadang and the Semja Tamjigunu Puya Pemase Yabu Johnson Sembigi, that's also in a Gaokomiada, Negawa Chisu Iranchia, 안에 무뒤 쟁에 되네기 삼로 땅 냠내 제디 지기나 세비 삼다지 존주기 두시나 삼다베나 나 저기 개와를 지수이라지야다 안지게 가오고미야 안에 무뒤네 되는 지기 세비기 존주 삼다베나 dim바다베나 땅을야 지게 개와 납치고 사고로 되는 땅 삼당고에 땅을 자산 두시나 땅 고고로 와다.
And as the meditation concludes, and I'd encourage you to do this right now as well, that having offered our body, speech and mind to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, offered ourselves as their respectful, devoted servants, having offered ourselves to not just Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, but the entirety of the Mahayana Three Jewels, so including their qualities of true paths and cessations, rejoice in this offering that you made, this offering that you've made with sincerity, this offering which is a commitment that has no end or limit. Rejoice in this promise that you are making. And because through rejoicing, this serves to multiply our merit. And how does it do so? Because it's by taking delight in what we are doing, we will want to continue to do so. So I encourage you to rejoice, not only right now, but each time you engage in this meditation, and not only then, but whenever you are engaging in virtuous deeds, when your mind is virtuous towards others, or the way you're acting or speaking is in accordance with the wishes of the Buddhas, rejoice in your endeavors. And in this way, you keep your promise, you keep your commitment strong and fresh, and you strengthen your resolve that no matter what one encounters, I will continue in service to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
ahora de shaganda jaman dinma da dinga zige kasore onda lana mebi cheba sede da cheba da lana yebi cheba da lana mebi cheba sa da la dinik cheba dinima chik ma chofiyege chikyere. So
thank you. We conclude therefore tonight. Next week we'll continue with further offerings, and these are offerings that are emanated. So thank you very much.